Elemental implement manipulation, week 7 with good can, level 1, finding our centers, which is very well represented by this can, which is kind of neat because when we inhale and our diaphragms go down, then we have the top of our can supported by our pelvic floor, which if we engage it, helps support there, and engaged all the way around with our core here. So let's start some level O, and remember breath, foot, center. We're maintaining conscious awareness of these places for just a few minutes a day to train autopilot. That's the purpose of maintaining conscious awareness of breath, foot position, and core awareness. The intention is to pay attention so that way our autopilot knows how to operate when we're not paying attention, because that can happen. And I want to be able to trust my autopilot, and I know that if I consciously train my autopilot on a daily basis for just a few minutes a day, practicing EIM, then my autopilot operates more optimally when I need it to. So, good can is much smoother than our hagstone. So we can do our gliding, glide over our bodies with it. We can use the edge of the can for scraping, so that's more like gua sha, so we can get more specific with it as needed. Moving the can around my center, I get a feel for my center and where my center is in space. I can push it out against my can, so I can really feel those abdominal muscles engage as I'm pushing out and pulling back in. So the can can be used as an implement to push and against so that we can feel that motion and ensure that we're engaging our diaphragm. What can I say about the center? Vagal nerve tone. That's what I'm thinking is important this week, of paying attention to our vagal nerve tone and doing what we can to help support that. Because it does, it supports our parasympathetic nervous system. It's the main communicator from our gut to our brain. And when we feel tension in this part of our body, then it sends information, it sends communication. Another aspect of what we're doing here, as I said, we're training autopilot. But part of what we're also training our body to do is to be calm, to feel centered, to feel balanced, stable, grounded, and open. Because when we're open and upright, our nervous systems register that we're safe. And if we get used to being in a position that our nervous systems register as safe, then we're really gonna notice when our bodies are talking to us and our gut engages because it feels that there's something off, and then sends a message to our brain that says, hey, pay attention. And when fight or flight engages and we go into alert mode, we can better trust that our bodies are not being engaged by false alarms, because we've been training ourselves to pay attention and notice, and also to stay calm whenever there isn't an actual danger. So then we can really feel when our bodies are talking and adjust as needed, because that's the other factor that we're practicing here with whether it's whatever EIM you're doing. It's all EIM, it's the same thing. It's all elementally intuitive movement, whether you're doing it with an implement or not. It's the same thing. We're learning to adapt. We're paying attention with the intention of quick adaptation to whatever situation may be going on, whether it's internal or whether it's external. we're learning to pay attention. We're training our autopilot to pay attention so that we can adjust as needed. Awareness of our breath, practicing awareness of our breath and practicing ourselves to breathe fully. Is a way that we train ourselves to breathe that way consistently on a regular basis, so that way we become more aware if we do start to breathe shallowly, which is usually a sign of tension or anxiety. So we can pay attention. And if there's something wrong, address it. Do what needs to be done. Shift as needed. And then return to calm breathing. Quick recovery. All right, so there we go. That is today's Good Can, because good can, and remember, it's the intention with which we do things. Good can. If you have the intention of being of service, of helping, do some research. Determine whether or not it's really helpful or useful or good. Because sometimes we think that something might be helpful or good, and it turns out further on down the line that it's not. And that's okay. It's a part of life. That's how we learn. But if we do some research, we look around, we can observe and witness, and then we can decide for ourselves, I see how this good can, and we'll do that good. We'll do that good. Okay. Thanks, y'all. See you next time, whenever that may be.